All right, right now we've got a good friend of mine, Minnesota Vikings head coach and NFL Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell,
I clap for
everybody.
that.
Yeah, baby.
First applause of the whole show here.
I mean, we needed that. Kev, you go to the honors dinner and all that stuff, and the guy that presents the award to you for NFL Coach of the Year is Coach Belichick. What did that mean to you? Was that a little surreal to have him up there and actually presenting for the award?
Yeah, it was first and foremost, it's great to be on with you guys. Big fans, mainly of you, Bobby, but yes, you as well, Matt. But yeah, talk about surreal. I mean, I did not know he was going to be there. 17 years ago, this coming April, he called me and welcomed me into the National Football League. He also, eventually he told me I was no longer allowed to stay in New England, but not before he taught me a lot of stuff. And he's been one of the huge mentors of my career. And he's told me multiple times how proud of me he is of being on the journey that I'm on. And he's always available anytime I need him. So to accept that award for him amongst some of those other coaches in the category was just remarkable for me, and life coming full circle for sure.
Now you check the box with the NFL Coach of the Year, but does it have special meaning to you? Like, what's this award mean to you? And I don't want to hear this is an organizational award. I want to hear the Ricky Bobby version of I piss excellence. I'm amazing. Like, talk to me. I mean, because it's a major achievement, and you did it in such a short period of time.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, Matt. If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very simple. No, in all reality, though, I know you don't want to hear that, but when you come to a place as a first-time head coach, you're not thinking about Coach of the Year awards. You're just thinking about how do I be the best possible coach I can be. And I interviewed. I'll never forget the first interview I had. It was with the Denver Broncos, and it was 6 hours in person. It was long, and I remember walking out of that interview feeling like I really believed what I was saying. Like this wasn't an example of me having to kind of BS my way through something. I had been around great people. I'd learned a lot of football, and I learned a lot of things about culture and team dynamics, and what I thought would be the best way for me to authentically lead every day. And then I think there's always a part of it that the former player in me looks back on my failures as a player, and what better way to you're never going to get a second chance at that playing career, but I can certainly hopefully have an impact and prolong careers of players that maybe are in my situation or at other positions that will respond to the atmosphere we built here, the coaches that I've hired here, and getting to, be a part of a first-class organization. So that's kind of what that award means, is it's full circle to having people recognize, obviously from winning some games, but people recognizing what we've been able to build here in Minnesota. And now it's about no longer worrying about individual awards for me or Justin Jefferson winning Offensive Player of the Year, or our guys making all pros or Pro Bowl teams. Like we had, I think 7 of them this year make the Pro Bowl team. Now it's about trying to play in that last game. And what do we do to maintain what we've built? Doing it our way, which we're very proud of, but now we just got to do it in a championship way, bringing all those good things along with us.
Gigantic elephant. Let me just pet the elephant. What's up with the quarterback situation? Oh, we lost him.
Now I can't hear you.
It's a perfect question.
Pet the elephant again. Pet the elephant again.
Gigantic elephant.
I know this was such a good question. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, well, I'll be the one. What can you say about the quarterback situation?
You guys muted?
Are we muted?
Man, this is what I do when people ask me
I think he's doing.
questions.
I think he's doing such a great job right now.
No, there we go. You're back. You were muted there for a second.
Okay, so the question is, what's up with the quarterback situation?
Oh, you're still muted.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, really what it is I was just down there at the Super Bowl answering this question a lot. And I was in a meeting, with our full staff and personnel right before I jumped on here with you guys. And we're talking about some really good problems. And what I mean by that is we had a quarterback come to our organization in his first year and win 14 games, and transitioning from Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold really stepping in and really trusting us with his career at this point in his quarterback journey to commit to what he committed to, working every single day and just trying to, take advantage of what we tried to build, which is a pretty unique quarterback environment here. And I thought he made the most of it. I'm so proud of what Sam was able to do. And I've said this over the, a couple other off seasons since I've been here, but we have a quarterback now who's played himself into probably being the marquee quarterback in the free agent class, which is significant. And we've got some conversations and some dialogue that will lead the way in regard to Sam, but I care about him greatly. I'm so proud of him, so happy for him. And we're going to work through that together with Sam to ultimately find the best outcome. But you guys are well aware that we drafted J.J. McCarthy 10th overall for a reason. It was a very, pretty historical in my mind draft class last year. And I think those guys that were able to play last year demonstrated that across the board. And it just so happened that J.J. McCarthy was off to an unbelievable start. So was Sam Darnold. It was very competitive. That competition really contributed to our team being a team worthy of winning 14 games, because those two guys were battling it out. And then JJ gets hurt, played great in the first preseason game, showing a lot of the things that we were excited about when we drafted him. And then I'll never forget the phone call that I got telling me, as I was watching the tape the next day, that he was going to go need to have his knee looked at because it was a little sore. And from there, it turned into a season-ending thing that we had to be ultimately smart with a young player who we feel has incredible upside. And he's healthy now. He's going to go through a full off season as he kind of completes the last phases of working through that injury from last season. And can't wait to get to work with him. He's around here all the time. He's a guy that just eats, sleeps, and breathes football and loves everything about the possibility of being the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. And then we also, brought in Daniel Jones late in the year, which is a former 6th pick in the draft and at a different point in his quarterback journey. And can't speak highly enough about what it was like to be able to have that time with Daniel, who's also a free agent. So, looking at it, I feel like we've got two pretty significant free agents that were in our building, in our quarterback room, that we've got to work through what that all looks like. And those guys at the same time have to do what's best for their careers. And they're going to have plenty of opportunities because I feel like people think, especially for Sam, having spent a year in this building, they could be getting the best version of him. And same with Daniel Jones having spent time in this building. So we take a lot of pride in that. And those are, like I said, to start, good problems to have.
When you talk about the quarterback position, since you've been with the Minnesota Vikings, you've had a lot of different guys step in and have to play. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was there, but he's had some injuries. Other guys stepped in. But does that give you confidence moving forward with whoever's there? You're kind of the quarterback whisperer, so to speak, that you'll get these guys to play at a high level. And what do you contribute that to? Is it just your beautiful mind that you have?
No, you and I both know that's not true, Matt. I think what it really is, kind of a magnified version of what we try to do for all of our players here is figure out what they do really well, figure out how we can make them the most comfortable by preparation and a lot of work and time on task, that there's no way to cheat it. It takes real work. It takes real time together. And ultimately, my favorite part about getting to be the head coach of this team is I also get to be the play caller. So I get to be in those guys' ear on game day. I get to support them. I get to help uplift them so that my goal each and every season, each and every game is, regardless of who's playing quarterback, those guys think they have an edge because of the fact that they have the support of our entire organization, our great players. We've got great skill players. We've got Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw on the offensive line. We've got Brian Flores running the defense with a whole lot of impact players. And then we've got an offensive system that I believe wholeheartedly in as we continue to improve it. It's always going to be centered around the quarterback position and how do we help those guys have production, build confidence, and continue to layer upon the success they have early as hopefully it sustains to the end of the season and beyond. And I think Sam would be the first one to say that he enjoyed his time from the moment he arrived here, sitting in my office, laying out a plan together collaboratively, so that it was him and I every step of the way, with Josh McCown as his position coach, Wes Phillips as the coordinator, and most importantly, his teammates. But make no mistake about it, Sam Darnold deserves the credit for what he was able to accomplish this year. And that's why I feel so fortunate to have had this time with them. And we do not know what the future holds at this point. That's the unique part of the NFL is it's, the rules are set up in a way that I think helps to contribute to year over year. You've got to reinvent yourself as a team. That's players, that's coaches, that's front office, that's everybody that supports the players. And that's why it's, everybody's goal as of, about 9:30 the other night, Eastern time, that everybody now feels like it's a brand new journey to try to get right to that moment that we saw the Philadelphia Eagles experience.
Final two questions. You can tell a lot about somebody with how somebody talks about them when they're not around. And so Matt and I talking about you, and you were not there. We hadn't even run into you yet, and Matt was talking about just like what kind of quality human you were. Not as a coach yet. He was just talking about you being like a guy he trusted, that had great values. And he talked about the difference in playing alongside you, but also then coming to see you coach and your communication style and how it had to change because you're now a coach. You're a leader of men instead of being one of the men. What was the learning process like in learning how to communicate different as a head coach versus a quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And the only real answer to it for me, Bobby, was I learned from some really good coaches that you had to authentically be yourself first and foremost. And who I am as a person is a person that cares about people. I care about people. I try to make sure that every interaction I have with folks, whether it's in this building or long before that, I want them to be positive interactions, and I want people to genuinely think that I'm a good person, because it matters to me. It matters to me to wake up and be that same person every single day. So when you get into a leadership role, you better lead in an authentic way. So that's what is very natural to me. Now, there is an element to it where the other two factors are being competent in your abilities and other folks having confidence in you to be the guy in front of them. And I put a lot of time into, how I talk to my team, the messaging, ultimately how I want reflections of me amongst my coaching staff, and really trying to get guys to understand that this is the most competitive, industry in the world. The National Football League, I mean, it is the greatest professional league on the planet, because I think fans love the fact that it is so competitive, and it is, a league where your best is required on a week in and week out basis. Otherwise, the results aren't going to come, and then you've got to go back to work and find a path to do that. But each and every year, fan bases and fans of the NFL know that it's going to be exciting. They know, they know what they're going to get each and every year. But I think for us on the leadership side of things, you've got to acknowledge that, but then you've got to figure out the way you want to operate. Does culture matter? And I'm talking real culture, not the stuff where there's just a bunch of signs on the wall, not the stuff where you just try to, live within different sayings and things like that. I think that's part of it. And if that's authentically the way some people lead, I'm sure they're great at that. But for me, it's people. For me, it's building relationships. For me, it's when things get difficult, I want to be the guy. I want to be the first guy in the fight, not because any other reason than I feel like I owe it to the people that I care about. And I hope when I'm done coaching that when people ask, the first thing about me that they enjoyed having me as a head coach was, I know that guy cared about me. I know he ultimately, in a very difficult world, a very competitive world, he still was able to make it about people. And the fact that every day we expected his best, and we expected him to be able to get the best out of us and everybody around us, because who he authentically was every day. That's probably the best way I can explain it. And sounds probably simple, but it's the only way I know.
Man, he's done this before, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, I'm ready to vote. I'm ready to vote.
I'm ready to run through the wall.
But I'm ready to vote and run through a wall.
I'm just shocked that he's never called me to maybe to come up and help coach, do anything. He's like, no, Cass, you're my buddy. You're definitely never coaching.
Boundaries, man.
Hey, you talk about people. You're at the Super Bowl this week. what was the coolest interaction or somebody that you met there that you're like, that was pretty cool that I got to see him or her or whatever it might be? Anybody?
Outside of seeing you and Bobby at Radio Row, where I didn't quite squeeze on your schedule. I know it was very packed. So I got penciled in for Tuesday afternoon here, which I'm very thankful for. But it was obviously great to see you, Matt. All jokes aside, I do cherish the time we get to spend together. You got to be around, maybe me and one of my greatest mentors, who's actually 6 months younger than I am, in Sean McVay. Somebody who I have so much respect for. We won a Super Bowl together. That will ultimately be something that sticks with me forever. But I would probably say just all the countless players that came before us. Whether it's seeing at NFL Honors Deion Sanders, or the players going into the Hall of Fame, LaDainian Tomlinson, who was a teammate of mine. Seeing Jared Allen, a great Minnesota Viking, go in, seeing Terry Bradshaw's and Peyton Manning's, and just these people that you looked up to for so long, for your entire young life as you became a lover of football, to get to be in that environment on such a big stage. Although I wasn't fortunate enough to coach in the game, there's certainly a lot of things you can take away from being around so many great people. And I did really enjoy my experience down there for sure.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the draft, and congratulations on a great season. And great to spend that 8 seconds that we spent together. I'll never forget it. I'll cherish it forever, Coach, over the weekend. Go Vikings, Coach.
Skull Vikings, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And Bobby, best of luck as you continue to take on this challenge of sitting next to this guy every single day, man.
It is a challenge. It is a challenge.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're the best, bud. Thank you.